Hi friends, welcome to Java 9. Okay, sir, almost around few days before Java 9 came in the picture. Sir, now we have to perform postmortem on what things are there in Java 9. Almost last few days onward, sir, I performed postmortem like anything. Now I want to share that knowledge for you people, right? Okay, be ready. Sir, I hope you people enjoyed with several new features came at the part of Java 8. Are getting procedural programming, lambda expressions, streams concept, like there are multiple things came in Java 8. Now we are ready to perform postmortem in Java 9. Sir, I have one small doubt, sir. When Java 8 came, anyone can you spell out? When the Java 8 came, Java 8, okay, sir, March 18th, 2014. Do you know 2014, March 18th, Java 8 came in the picture. Next, almost after 3 years 6 months, almost around after 3 years 6 months, one fine day, Java 9 came, sir. Sir, can you spell out when the Java 9 came, sir? September 21st. Okay, September 21st, 2017. Just very recently, few months, 1 or 2 months before, sir, this September 21st, 2017, this Java 9 came. Sir, when compared with all previous versions of Java, maybe Java 1, Java 2, Java 3 and so on, sir, before Java 8, whatever the versions you have, sir, that Java is the different, but after 8, Java 8 and Java 9, these new versions are more prestigious versions for Java. The reason is, sir, until Java 7, Java was the king in the market. Do you know, right? So, which is the topmost growing language is nothing but Java. Java, like everyone told until Java 7. But whenever, sir, after Java 7, slowly the other languages are dominating Java, sir, like Python, Scala, Ruby. These people came on giving left and right. I hope you people may hard, sir, in Python with very less code we have to write, but in Java lengthy code we require to write. Complexity is more, like you may heard about that. So then JDK people, Java engineer took very seriously about this comment, and then they introduced a wonderful concept, sir, procedural programming in Java 8 with the lambda expressions and streams concept, like, sir, n number of facilities came in Java 8. Sir, once Java 8 came, then automatically the people start, sir, being a Java programmer, I can tell very confidently, hey, I can also stand in front of you. Like you can tell to the Python person, you can tell to the Ruby person, you can tell to the Scala person, right? Next, Java 9 came with the n number of new features. Once Java 9 came, then automatically we can tell very confidently, yes, Java is always top. Remember that, sir? Such a type of beautiful features came in the Java 8 and the Java 9. Observe that, sir. So now very confidently, very strongly you can stand in front of Python, in front of Ruby, in front of Scala. Hey, sir, when compared with you, in Java nothing is less, sir. Getting that we have a number of facilities are there, like you can able to tell, sir. So Java 8 and Java 9, these are prestigious versions for Java, sir. By mistake, if the Java people are a bit lazy, if they didn't release Java 8 and Java 9, by this time Java is disappeared from the market. Okay, sir, the existence of Java, sir, came because of these two versions, right? A number of new features came, sir. Sir, now up to before Java 8, up to Java 7, I'm always talks about, oh, Java is object oriented. Everything we have to talk in terms of object only. But luckily from Java 8 onward, now I can tell, yes, Java can provide support even for procedural language features also, like lambda expressions and so on. Next, Java 9 also. Do you know Java 8, until Java 8, my Java is not that much machine friendly, never communicates with the processor. But now Java 9 version onward, I can able to communicate with underlying operating system directly. Such a type of big facilities came in Java 9. Remember that, sir? Are you getting? Sir, from this discussion, only one point you people should be aware. Java 8 and Java 9 are important major versions for Java. The existence of Java in front of other languages because of these two versions only. Remember that, sir. Sir, anyway, I'm not going to talk about Java 8. I hope you people enjoyed my 43 videos. We did 43 videos on Java 8, correct, right? Sir, now Java 9 also. Almost around, definitely, sir, more than 50. Around 100 videos I'm going to do, sir. Don't worry, each and every feature of Java we are going to perform post-mortem like anything. Next, even I prepared almost around 200 pages material, sir. 200 pages material only for Java 9 new feature. Each and every line typed by myself only. So that I'm ready to give left and right. Be ready from your side also, right? Sir, anyway, first point what you people should aware in Java 9. Can you please tell, sir, what are various new features are there? Just at least, if any person is asking, Arey, Java 9 came. Java 9 came. When Java 9 came, you are in a position to answer. When the Java 9 came, sir? September 21st, 2017. Just a few months, 2 months before this concept came in the picture. Okay, like. Next, Arey, can you please tell some features which came at the part of Java 9? Are you getting right? Immediately, you should be in a position to talk at least words. Arey, in Java 9, these are the new features which came. Just what I will do, I will list out all these features, whatever came in Java 9. Next, I will start each and every feature very briefly, so that almost 1 or 2 hours, if you are going to spend with me, you will get overview of Java 9. Are you able to understand, right? Okay. Sir, now, what features came? What are various features, right? The first best features are brand new feature in Java 9. Are you getting that? In Java 9, what is that? Is JShell. JShell, Java Shell. Remember that. So don't ask what is JShell. I will discuss in detail. First, let me list out what new features are there in Java 9. What is the first feature, sir? Can I spell out? JShell. What is the second one, sir? JPMS. Can I spell out? What is the second feature, sir? JPMS. Can you spell out? What is the JPMS, right? JPMS. Don't create your own abbreviations. Can you spell out, sir? What is the JPMS? J means what? Java. P means what? Platform. Java platform. M means what? Module. Sir, S means system. Java platform module system. From Java 9 version onward, Java is modularized. JDK itself is modularized. Instead of jar file, instead of jar file, we have to talk about everything. That module, this module only. JDK itself is modularized. I will discuss in detail. Don't worry. First, let me list out all the topics, right? Sir, what is the first one? JShell. What is the second topic? JPMS. Next, third concept, sir, JLink. Remember this one. What is the third topic, sir? Can I spell out? JLink. What is this? JLink means Java linker. Java linker, not liquor, sir. Okay? Java linker, sir, which is wonderful, beautiful feature, sir. I will discuss, don't worry, to create our own customized JREs. Because of this JLink concept, now my Java is suitable for portable devices also, microservices also, IoT devices also. Happily you can use Java. The size of Java environment is going to be reduced like anything with this JLink concept, right? Next, after that, a beautiful concept came, sir. Do you know, sir, I have Java application is there. From Java application, I want to send a HTTP request. Are you getting? If you want to send a HTTP request, usually what you are going to do, open the browser, http://www.google.com or gmail.com. Are you getting? How you can send a HTTP request type? By using browser. Are you getting? By using browser, maybe Mozilla or Chrome, we can send a HTTP request. But now my requirement is, I don't want to use browser software. Remember that. From Java application, sir, I have Java application is there, sir. This is my Java application. From Java application, if you want to send a request to HTTP request to web server, how you can able to do that? By using HTTP to client. Okay, HTTP to client came in the picture. Remember this one, sorry, beautiful concept. But anyway, I will discuss in detail. First, let me list out. So, what is the first topic, sir? JShell. What is the second topic? JPMS, Java Platform Module System. Third one, sir, JLink. Fourth one, sir, HTTP to client API. Next, fifth topic, sir, very, very important. Do you know? Process API updates. Are you getting? Process API updates. Update. Sir, according to worldwide programming expert, the best feature in Java 9, rank 1 feature in Java 9 is process API updates only. Sir, from Java 9 version onwards, from Java program, you can able to communicate with the processor very easily. Matter of 1 or 2 lines is enough. Hey processor, what is the current processor running ID? Current process running ID. Sir, who is the parent process? Which is the child process? Complete processor tree, complete process information you can able to capture by using this process API updates. That part I will show with the example, don't worry, just briefly I will explain, sir. Okay, next, and after that, do you know, sir, in until 1.8 version, inside interface, which methods you can take? Abstract methods you can take, public and abstract. Next, in the 1.8 version, default methods you can take. Next, static methods also we can take. But, sir, to achieve code reusability purpose, inside interface, happily we can use what? Sir, private methods also. Okay, simple, sir. Inside interface, from 1.9 version onward, private methods are allowed. What is the purpose of private method? Just aware reusability of the code. That's all. Code reusability. How we can do that? That part I will discuss, right? Sir, what is this one, sir? What is that? Private methods inside interface. Are you getting? Private methods inside interface. Okay, this is the beautiful concept, sir. What is the purpose? How you can use that? What briefly I will explain. Don't worry, sir. Private methods inside interface, right? Sir, now what is the next terminology? Take a bit special case, sir. We have try with resources are there, which came in the 1.7 version. Try with resources. For that try with resources, a small enhancement came in the Java 9. What is that? Is try with the resources enhancements. What is that enhancement? I will discuss, right? Try with the resources enhancements. Next, sir, I want to create unmodifiable collections. I want to create immutable collections. Sir, until Java 8 version, big code we have to write. Are you getting? Sir, bigger code we require to write to create unmodifiable collection. But from 1.9, only one line is enough. Only one line is enough. What is that line is? Observe that, sir. Okay, what is that is? Factory method. Are you getting? Factory methods to create. Factory methods to create unmodifiable collections. Factory methods to create unmodifiable collections. Make sure, sir, you people should be aware. Next, and after that, after discussing factory method, next, sir, streams concept. Stream concept came in Java 8 version, right? To process objects from the collection, we should go for which concept, sir? Streams concept. Sir, for the streams, sir, there are some enhancements came. Take while, drop while, off nullable. Next, iterate, like some new methods came to increase the power of streams, right? Sir, what is that concept? Yes, stream API enhancements. Stream API enhancements. Remember this one, sir? Sir, this is the stream API enhancements. After stream API enhancements, what is the next topic is, sir, do you know, this is diamond operator. I hope you people may aware diamond operator, right? Sir, this diamond operator, okay, which came in Java 7 is applicable for anonymous inner classes also from Java 9 version onwards. Diamond operator enhancement. Of course, this part I will discuss, don't worry, sir. Next, after this, do you know, there is one annotation is there, sir. Safe varargs. Can you spell out once again? Safe varargs annotation. Safe varargs annotation. annotation. Next sir, G1. What is that? Can I spell out? G1 GC. What is that? G1 GC, right? Garbage first garbage collector. Garbage first garbage collector, which came in the 1.6 version only. From 1.9 version onwards, it is the default garbage collector, right? That part I will take care. ... Are you getting? So now I didn't explain anything, just I'm telling these are the new features which came in the Java 9. Are you able to understand, right? Can you spell out what new features are there, sir? JShell, JPMS, can you spell out? JShell, JPMS, JLink, next and after that what? HTTP2 client, process API updates, next and after that private methods inside interfaces, try with the resources enhancements, factory methods to create unmodifiable collections, next stream API enhancements, diamond operator enhancement, next safe vararg annotation, G1 JC. That's all, sir. If any person is asking, hey, which version of Java you know, simple answer in your interview room you can tell, sir, I know Java 9. Are you getting right? Sir, what are various new features came in Java 9? Just spell out these names. Can I spell out, sir, once again? Sir, what is the first one? JShell. Second one, JPMS. Third one, JLink. Next one, sir, process API updates, HTTP2 client. Next and after that, private methods inside interfaces, try with resource enhancements. Next and after that, factory methods for creating unmodifiable collections, stream API enhancements. Next and after that, diamond operator enhancement. Next, safe vararg annotation. Last topic, G1 GC. From 1.9 version onward, G1 GC garbage collector was default garbage collector. Of course, he's default garbage collector, right? Are you able to understand, right? Sir, from this, just you people should aware what is sir, Java 9, what new features are there. Sir, now I will explain each and every feature, I mean very briefly, so that you will get some basic idea. Clear, right? Sir, now up to this, what are various new features present inside Java 9? It's very clear for you people, right? Are you getting? Sir, total how many features we covered? 12 features, right? Now I will explain very briefly about these features, right? Sir, what is the first feature what I want to discuss is JShell. Remember that, sir, JShell. Sir, what is J? J means Java shell. What is the need or what is the purpose of this concept? I will explain, sir. Very simple. Suppose assume that you want to join or your kid, you have to join your kid in the school. Assume that, sir. I hope you won't join in the school once again. That age already crossed, sir. Okay, we are aunties or uncles now. Just kidding. Okay. Now assume that you want to join your kid in the school. First, in which class you are going to join your kids, sir? Can you spell out? First, LKG or UKG? No. Sir, first we have to join our kid in the play school. Correct or not? We require to join our kid in the play school. Because the kid, do you know, 2 years or 3 years, happily with the parents. Sir, without, parents, kid can able to get on alone in the school. He has to mingle without parents with the other friends and so on, right? First, to habitize outside environment, we require to join our kid into where, sir? In the play school. Compulsory, right? In the play school we require to join. Sir, they never going to teach ABCD or alphabet symbols or numbers and so on. Sir, just is going there and play the games and then he will come. Once 3 or 4 months or 6 months he is feeling comfortable, then nursery, and after that LKG, UKG, first standard, all those things. So compulsory for the kid, play school must be required or not? Yes, to play the games, to habitize outside environment. Sir, outside environment, compulsory some play school must be required. It's a good programming practice, right? That's why, sir, in our towns especially, sir, usually in our school standards, first play school, next nursery, next LKG, next UKG, like these kind of things by default will be there, sir. Sir, now suppose assume that no play school, no nursery, no LKG or UKG, right? Assume that directly the kid is going to join in the first standard or second standard. Directly teacher came and is explaining English statements and so on. Then automatically the kid feeling, can you please observe that? He's feeling, do you know, with the big question mark face by default will be there. What is the meaning of that and so on. He's always going to get the problem or not. Yes, sir. Sir, make sure, sir, for the Java kid also, compulsory, he should have such type of play school. Are you getting right? Playground must be required even for the Java kid also. Sir, very simple. If the kid came for Java class, first in the first class, what I want to explain hello world program, sir. Sir, for hello world program, to explain hello world program, what code I have to write? Sir, compulsory we have to write public class, sir, test class, public class test, and then public static void, public static void, main method string array args, main method string array args, and after that system dot out dot println, system dot out dot println of hello world. Are you getting? Like, sir, this is the code we have to write, and after that we have to compile this code Java C test dot Java, and then we have to run this code Java test. Observe, sir, a kid came to learn Java in the first class to print hello world. Sir, this is the code what I wrote, and I'm showing the output. Then immediately kid is going to ask, sir, what is this public, or what is the meaning of class, or what is this test, sir, what is this public static void main? He's always going to get the doubt, right? Okay, because he don't know anything in Java. Directly public class test, public static void main, and so on. Is it a problem or not? By seeing hello world program in the first class of Java, 50% of people, no, I don't want Java because Java is very complex, Java is very difficult, like some people are feeling, right? So to play games for the Java kid, some playground must be required. That playground is nothing but JShell concept, right? Remember that, sir, from 1.9 version onward, if the kid is coming to learn Java, don't tell public class, public static void main, and then SOP statement and so on, right? Sir, open the JShell, just print hello world, automatically hello world should be printed. So to learn Java in fun way, some concept must be required, some tool must be required. That tool is nothing but what? JShell concept. Clear for all of it? Sir, it's a very difficult for the Java kid. Okay, we should not use like this, right? Okay, how you can able to do that? Very simple, sir. Just have a look once, sir. From Java 9 version onward, to learn Java in the fun way, sir, a new tool came. The tool itself is nothing but what? JShell. Observe that a bit carefully, sir. Sir, now this is my command prompt. In my command prompt, in my system, already Java, which version I installed, sir? 1.9 version, Java version 9. Now I'm taking, sir, here very simple. If you want JShell, just type JShell, that's all. Type JShell. Okay, like, don't worry about this option, what I'm using. Just type JShell, that's all, sir. Okay, type JShell. Now, welcome to JShell. Like, JShell is going to be started in our system. Observe that, welcome to JShell, like this. Sir, now it is the playground to play the games, right? Sir, I want to print a hello world. Print hello world, that's all. Automatically, hello world by default will be printed. Sir, we are not required to write a class, we are not required to write main method, system.out.println and all those. Are print a hello world, that's all. Sir, I want to print 10 plus 20. Are you getting 30 is the answer? I want to print 10 less than 20. Are you getting that? True is the answer. Sir, it is the very, sir, now the kid is going to have what is plus operator, what is minus operator, what is the print and so on. If he is feeling comfortable, then we have to think about method, we have to think about class and so on. Such a type of playground for Java kid is nothing but what? JShell concept, right? Java's REPL tool is JShell, but this type of facility is already there in other languages, right? Sir, best example Python. In the Python Python IDLE, Python IDLE tool is there, sir. In the Swift programming, Apple Swift programming, there is one tool is there named with a playground. The name itself in the Apple's Swift playground only. In Java, we have JShell, but luckily from Java 9 version onwards, it is there. If you want Python IDLE, sir, have a look once. Sir, in my system, Python is already there, sir. Can you please observe a bit carefully about this one, sir? Sir, I hope are you able to see this screen or not? Just observe that. What is this one, sir? IDLE, Python IDLE, right? If I open this, observe. If I open this, sir, now print off hello world. Are you getting that? Now print off hello world like this I'm taking, sir. Automatically hello world by default will be printed or not? Yes, 10 plus 20. Are you getting 30? 10 less than 20. Automatically, do you know true is the answer, sir. Sir, this is the Python. This is the Python. At the top you can able to see, sir. Okay, here Python 3.6.1 JShell shell something like sir, similar type of arrangement even in Java also it came, sir. I hope everyone can able to understand, right, sir? What is JShell? To learn Java in fun way, some tool must be required. The tool is nothing but one JShell concept. Sir, don't feel this JShell is available for Java kids only. No, sir. Even for developers also, to test their coding snippets we can use, to check API updates we can able to use, no problem at all, sir. Everyone can able to understand, but how you can able to do that part in detail I will discuss. Just JShell to learn Java in fun way, a beautiful concept came. That concept is nothing but one JShell concept, sir. If you observe that, if you observe that related to the JShell, what are various things I'm going to discuss for you people, right, sir? Just take a bit very special care about this, sir. Introduction to JShell. Next, getting started with JShell. Almost around 13 topics I'm going to discuss as a part of JShell, sir. Introduction, getting started with JShell, getting help from the JShell. If you cry for help, everything JShell is going to provide, sir. Remember that. Next, understanding JShell snippets. Next, sir, coding snippets, whatever we are going to execute, that thing is by default considered snippet, the coding snippet, right? Next, editing and navigating code snippets, working with the JShell variable, working with the JShell methods. Next, you can use our own editor also with the JShell. Okay, that thing is how to use external editor with the JShell. Next, using classes, interfaces and enums. How you can able to use class, interface and enum with the JShell. Next, what is about how to load the snippet, how to save the coding snippets like this we can. Next, how to use jar files in the JShell. Happily you can use jar files, sir. OJDBC6.jar you can place, you can write JDBC program, no problem at all, sir. Next, how to customize JShell startup. Next, shortcuts and auto completion commands. Almost 13 topics, minimum 5 to 6 hours we are going to spend on the JShell. Remember this one, sir. So what is the JShell? What things we are going to cover is the clear for all of you, right? Next, a beautiful material I prepared related to this JShell. Have a look once, sir. Sir, this part also I will provide this material also. Don't worry about that. Java 9 material, JShell. Are you getting right? JShell. Okay, almost around if you observe 49 pages material is already there, sir. Don't worry about that. All these things in detail we are going to discuss. So, sir, this is the agenda what I'm going to discuss related to the JShell, right? Clear for all of you, right? Sir, that's all. Now, if any person is asking what is the JShell, are you in a position to talk? Yes, it is a very easy way to learn Java. There is some tool came to learn Java in the fun way. What is the tool is nothing but JShell. But anyway, just this is only one line answer. But we are going to spend 5 to 6 hours to discuss each and every point whatever there in the JShell. Clear for all of you, right? Sir, in the last video just we covered about what are various new features are there in the Java 9 and we had a discussion about JShell. Are you getting basic idea, right? Sir, now the next important concept in Java 9, sir, brand new feature in Java 9, the biggest specialty for Java 9 is JPMS. Are you getting what is that, sir? Can you spell out? JPMS. Sir, what is the JPMS? Java Platform Java platform module system. Are you getting? Java platform module system. Sir, now you people may ask, what is the need of this JPMS concept in the Java 9? Remember that. Sir, until 1.8 version, how you can develop applications? Can I spell out? First we have to write classes. Can I spell out? First we have to write classes. I want to develop one small project or one project I want to develop. I require to write several classes or several interfaces and then several enums we are going to write. Usually a project can contain multiple classes, interfaces and enum. All these classes we have to define inside, we have to convert into packages. Correct or not? Sir, we can hold these things inside a package. All these packages we will convert into jar files. Remember this one, sir, we will convert into jar file. By placing jar file in the class path, we can able to run our application. Correct or not? Okay. Sir, until 1.8 version, our application development is based on jar files. Are you getting right? Sir, rt.jar, even JDK itself is jar file based only. rt.jar, tools.jar. Next, if you want to communicate with the database, OJDBC6.jar, log4j if you want to use log4j.jar, like everywhere jar, that's all. Until 1.8 version, everything is a jar file based in Java, right? But, sir, with this jar file, there are n number of problems are there, sir. Of course, we face it every time, but it's the common like we habitized. But there are several problems are there with this jar files approach. One problem is, sir, if the JVM unable to identify required .class file, immediately we are going to get what? No class def found error in the middle of program execution. Are you getting right? No class def found error in the middle of program execution. Sir, already 10,000 lines executed. After 10,000 lines, JVM is trying to find one .class file not there. Immediately JVM is going to tell in the middle of execution, sorry man, I can't continue because the required .class file is not available. Are you getting? Sir, JVM is giving the hand in the middle of program execution saying that so and so .class file is not there, sorry I can't continue like. So is it a problem or not? Why JVM is not telling at the beginning? Are JVM, can you please tell at the beginning? After executing 10,000 lines, JVM is giving the hand, sorry boss, I can't continue because so and so .class file is not there. No class def found error in the middle of program execution is very common in the case of jar files approach. It is the best friend for most of the developers, right? Remember, sir, if while coding, sir, which error you are always going to get? Commonly going to get no class def found error only, right? Because jar files class path problem like there are. Next, there is one more, sir, version conflicts. Okay, sir, I will explain with the examples, so don't worry, just aware the terminology, right? Version conflicts. If two jar files contain a class with the same name, sir, according to class path, left to right, JVM is always going to consider from left to right. Maybe at runtime JVM may pick a wrong version, then there may be a chance of version conflict and abnormal behavior of the program. Are you getting that? There may be a chance of what? Version conflict problem by default will be there. Okay, like third problems are everything project jar file is the public to everyone, sir. Any person is allowed to access anything inside jar file. That's why, sir, security problems are going to come. Public is too much public in the jar file. Remember that. That's why security problem by default is going to come in the picture, sir. Okay, security problem. Next, the fourth problem, sir. Do you know, even to execute a hello world program also, compulsory total JRE must be required. Correct or not? Compulsory total JRE must be required. rt.jar file must be required to execute a hello world program also. Sir, to execute hello world program, matter of 1 KB. Are you getting 1 KB file to execute that Java program? Sir, you require to maintain almost around 400 MB JRE. Are you getting that? What is about that? 400 MB JRE you have to place in the client machine. It is always a bigger problem, sir. So, JRE having monolithic structure. Okay, you can't divide JDK into parts or JRE into part. Compulsory if you want to run a hello world program also, total JRE must be there on the client machine. Are you getting right? So JDK and the JRE having monolithic structure. Are you getting right? Having monolithic structure and bigger size, sir, and bigger size. Remember this one. So with our traditional jar file approach, there are several problems are available, sir. Okay, sir, all these problems related to jar file is also known as jar hell. What hell going on, sir, with respect to jar hell or class path hell? Okay, sir, we have several problems are there. To overcome these problems in Java 9, JPMS concept came in the picture. Java Platform Modular Programming. Sir, now what is the advantage of JPMS concept, right? Very simple, sir. JVM is going to check at the beginning only all the required modules are available or not. Sir, in Java 9 we never going to use the word jar. We have to use one new word, module. Java platform module system, module word we require to use, right? Okay, jar, rt.jar no more, already gone. In Java 9 rt.jar is not there, tools.jar is not there, sir. We require to use only one word. What is that word? Can you spell out? What is that word? Module, right? Sir, in the modular programming, JVM is always going to check at the beginning only all the dependent things are available or not. That's why if anything is missing, immediately JVM is telling at the beginning only, Durga, I can't start my program execution because so and so module is missing. Are you getting? So and so module is missing. That's why no class def found error in the middle of program execution. No chance at all in the modular programming. Next, you never going to get version conflict. Sir, in the module, there is one configuration file is there, module info.java. Don't worry, I will discuss. In that, this module required which class, from which module, everything you can specify. That's why, sir, choosing wrong file by the JVM, such a type of situation never come in the JPMS concept. That's why version conflicts won't be there. Next, which thing you are going to export, only that particular package is available to the outside world. Sir, I want to expose only package 1. Package 2 I don't want to export. Sir, exports pack 1. Only pack 1 visible. Pack 2 outside people can't touch it. That's why security problem won't be there in the case of JPMS concept. Next, rt.jar divided into several modules. Are you getting? Which module required? Only that module my JRE is going to use. Now the size of JRE by default will become very, very small when compared with Java 8. Everyone can able to understand, right? So to overcome these problems, okay, JPMS concept came. Sir, it's just overview, right? 5 minutes discussion, but a minimum 6 to 7 hours we are going to discuss about this JPMS concept. There I will explain each and everything, sir. Sir, related to this JPMS, what is my agenda, sir? Have a look once. Almost around 18 topics we are going to discuss related to this JPMS concept. Sir, introduction, what is the need of, what is JPMS, what is the JPMS concept, what is the need of JPMS concept, what is the jar hell or class path hell. Next, what is your module? Next, steps to develop first module based application. Sir, we are always going to use jar, class path and so on. Now onwards, we have to use module path, module source path, these type of option. Our compilation, our execution completely both are going to be changed, sir. Next, various possible ways to compile and run a module. How to compile a module, how to run a module. Inter-module dependencies. How you can define dependencies between the module. Module A depends on module B. How you can specify that? Next, requires and exports directive. Okay, required module A requires module B. Module A exports package pack 1. Okay, like how to use this one. Next, no class def found error in the JPMS, no chance at all, that part. Next, what is the next one? Transitive dependencies. Next, optional dependencies, cyclic dependencies, qualified exports, module graph. Are you getting it right? So the dependency between the module can be represented by using a graph, which is nothing but one module graph. Next, observable module. The modules which are observed by JVM at runtime, these are called observable module. Next, the aggregator module. Beautiful concepts are multiple modules functionality. We are going to aggregate integrate into a single module, which is nothing but aggregator module. Next, a package naming conflicts. Next, a module resolution process. So these are 18 topics what we are going to discuss in detail. Don't worry, just it's a simple overview, man. Oh, there is one concept named with the JPMS is there. So related to this concept, I prepared a beautiful material, sir. Almost around 43 or 45 pages material came. Have a look once. JPMS. Are you getting right? Sir, how many pages are there? Can you please cross check? Sir, 45. Almost around 45 pages are there, sir, by default. Just observe a bit carefully. These are the 18 topics what we are going to discuss in detail. Don't worry about that. In detail, these are the 18 topics we are going to discuss, right? How to define and so on. All those things by default will be covered. Don't worry about that. Clear for all of you, right? Sir, this is about JPMS. In a single word, can you please tell what is JPMS? Java Platform Module System, Module Programming instead of jar file. What is the purpose, sir? Sir, we are using traditional jar file approach, but with the jar file approach, there are some problems are there. Those problems are called jar hell. To overcome these problems in Java 9, a beautiful concept came. That concept is nothing but one JPMS concept. Do you know JPMS concept? When development was started? Developing JPMS concept, when it was started? Do you know? This concept was developing this concept was started in the 2005 only. Now 2017, almost OpenJDK people spend 12 years time to develop this concept, right? 12 years effort, how many results we are going to get? You can expect. Sir, do you know this JPMS, the Java people tried to introduce in the Java 7 only. They failed, sir, because JPMS not developed fully. That's why they tried in the Java 8. Unfortunate, they failed. Sir, at last, in Java 9, this JPMS concept came as the part of project Jigsaw. What is that project name, sir? Jigsaw. Jigsaw project, as the part of Jigsaw project, this JPMS concept came in Java 9. Even Java 9 also, it may not, sir. Java 9 version itself postponed several times because of this concept. Remember this. Anyway, that much powerful concept. 12 years, OpenJDK people spent their efforts to introduce this concept. Definitely, one of rocking concept in the future is JPMS concept. That's why compulsory you people should have clarity about this JPMS. Clear for all of you, right? Okay, that's. Sir, up to this we covered what is JShell, what is JPMS. Basic idea, I hope you people got. Now, the next topic, what I want to introduce, JLink concept. JLink, what is that, sir? Java linker, not lecker, sir, okay? Java linker, okay. Now, my question is, what is the purpose of this JLink? Sir, JLink is the most powerful concept. Regarding beautiful concept which came in the Java 9. What is the reason for that is, very simple, sir. I developed one Hello World program. Regarding I developed one Hello World program. Sir, assume that public class test, you know, public static void main method, string array args, system.out.println of Hello World, sir. Assume that. Sir, now my question is, once we develop and compile, now the program is ready. To run this program, compulsory on the client machine, JRE must be required or not? Yes, JRE must be required. So first we have to install JRE. Once a JRE is installed, and then I have to run this program by using that JRE. That JRE contain rt.jar or not? Yes, compulsory until 1.8 version I'm talking, sir. Forget about Java 9. What is the need of JLink? I will explain. First observe rt.jar. Do you know rt.jar size is almost around 60 MB size. Okay, rt.jar contain, sir, all classes predefined core java .class files are available here, right? Like, sir, now my question is, to run this program, how many classes are required? Tester class is required, string class is required, system class is required, object class is required. Just only 4 or 5 classes. Sir, to run 4 or 5 to required for our requirement is 4 or 5 classes. But JRE contain rt.jar which contain 4,300 plus classes, right? Array, you required only 4 or 5 classes, but our JRE contain how many? 4,300 plus classes, right? Is it a problem or not? Yes, the size of this JRE is almost around 400 plus MB. Sir, to run 1 KB program, 400 MB JRE must be required is nothing but, sir, no one is going to prefer our Java applications. Our Java application is heavyweight. Java runtime environment is heavyweight runtime environment, like elephant man. Okay? Sir, now my question is, sir, I have a small dera, or otherwise one small room is there with me. A small room is there. Can I invite elephant into that room? Are you getting right? Inviting a big elephant in a small room. Are you getting? In a small tent. In a small tent, inviting a big elephant is the bigger problem. Correct or not? Okay? Sir, I want to develop IoT applications, Internet of Things, IoT applications, microservices, where memory is very less, small memory. In the small memory, I have to run Java application. May not possible until Java 8. Because to run Hello World program 1 KB file also, sir, have you observed right? How much size JRE must be required? 400 plus JRE, 400 plus MB JRE must be required. Unnecessary memory is going to huge memory must be required to run Java applications JRE, right? So Java runtime environment is just like elephant. Clear for all of you, right? But from 1.9 version onward, I can create my own JRE. Remember this one, sir. I can create what? My own JRE. I can create only with the required things. Are you getting? Test class required. Test class required, Hello World program required, test class, next system class, string class, like 4 or 5 classes, right? So with these 4 or 5 classes, okay, I can create my own Java runtime environment to create customized JREs, very small JREs. Sir, we should go for which tool? JLink. Remember this one, sir. What is the purpose of JLink, sir? To create our own customized JREs with a small size, sir. Because of this JLink concept, from Java 9 version onwards, happily you can use our Java for portable devices, next for microservices, for IoT devices, no problem at all. Sir, Java runtime environment is not elephant, it is a small mouse only. Remember that, okay? From which version onwards it is happened, sir? 1.9 version onward. Because of which concepts, sir? JLink. Sir, I have a look once. Sir, default JRE, I created my own JRE. But how to create our own JRE, I will explain in our detailed sessions, right? Don't worry about that. Have a look once, sir. I did already this demo program for my regular class purpose, right? Have a look once, sir. Sir, in my system, I install Java. In my system, I install Java, sir. Program files, Java, JRE. Sir, here just have a look once. Program files, 1 minute. Program files, Java, JRE, like this. Sir, now JRE 9. Okay, default JRE. Sir, how much size is there? Can you please cross check, sir? Anyone can you please cross check? How much, what is the size, sir? JRE size. Have you observed, right? Okay. Default JRE, whatever there, if you observe that, what is the size, sir? Anyone, can you please cross check? 204 MB is the size, right? How much is size, right? 203 or 204 MB is the size. Next and after that, how many files are available, sir? 359 files are available, 94 folders are there. This is the default JRE which is provided at the part of Java, sir. But I don't want to use this bloody default JRE. Regarding, I want to create my own JRE, sir. Is it possible or not? Yes. For that, we require to use which tool, sir? JLink. Now observe, sir, can you please read what is this word, sir? Anyone, can you please read this word? Durga JRE 3. Are you getting right? Durga JRE 3 like this. Sir, this is my own JRE, sir. This is my own JRE. Observe the size. Observe the sizes, sir. Sir, observe. Let me compare both the things, right? Sir, now have a look once. This one contain, what is the size? 203 MB. But this one contain, what is the size, right? 24.2 MB. Are you getting? Almost 90% of the size got done only with the 10% memory only. I can able to run my application, sir. Sir, have you observed? This is the default JRE provided by Java people. This is the Durga JRE developed or created by Durga with the JLink tool. Remember this. Next, how many files are available, sir? 359 files, 94 folder. But here how many files? Just 52 files, 14 folders only. Everyone can able to understand. So if you want to create our own JRE, for that JLink is required. With less memory, my Java application can able to run with my customized JRE. Now from Java 9 version onward, Java runtime environment is not a big elephant. Remember that it is a small ant or it is a small mouse only. Java applications also, Java is also best suitable for IoT devices. Next and after that for machine learning. Next for microservices. Happily we can use Java, no problem at all. But before Java 9, if you want to develop microservice, if you want to go for IoT, Java is not at all suitable. But now onwards, because of JLink, happily we can use Java for these things also. Clear for all of that? JLink is the beautiful concept, wonderful tool which came at the part of Java 9. Sir, up to this, we had a discussion about what JShell, and then JPMS, and then JLink. Now let me talk about fourth new feature present inside Java 9, HTTP2 client. Remember that. Sir, first you have to get basic idea. What is the purpose of HTTP2 client? In the last somewhere at the summary, I explained. Just observe. Sir, I want to send a HTTP request. If you want to send a HTTP request, usually what we will do, I want to check my mail, I want to send a request to Google. What I will do, open the browser, http://www.google.com or gmail.com. By using browser, it may be Mozilla, or it may be Google Chrome, or it may be Netscape Navigator, any browser. By using browser, you can send a HTTP request to server. Regarding, you can send a HTTP request to web server. Now you are going to get HTTP response. Sir, usually, which thing we are using to send a HTTP request? Sir, browser software we are going to use, right? But now my requirement is, I don't want to use bloody browser. I have Java program. From Java program, I want to send a HTTP request, sir. Sir, assume this is my Java application. Observe that this is my Java application. From Java application, I want to send a request to web server. Are you getting? I want to send a request to web server. HTTP request I want to send. Then I have to get HTTP response. I have to read this response. I have to process this response. Observe that. Write a Java program to send a request to Gmail and to read all the mails. Are you getting? From Java program, I want to do that. Are you getting? From Java program, I want to send a HTTP request. For that, some software must be required. That software is nothing but HTTP client. Everyone can able to understand, right? What is the software, sir? HTTP client software must be required to send a HTTP request to the web server and to get the to process the response from Java application, right? Remember that. That is a very important. It's not from the browser. From Java application, if you want to send a request to a web server, then some software must be required. Some software components must be required, which is nothing but HTTP to client. Remember HTTP client. Sir, until 1.8 version, if you want to send HTTP request, what concept we used, sir? HTTP URL connection. Okay, remember this one. Which concept we used, sir? HTTP URL connection. By using that, we can send a request to web server, HTTP request site. But this concept came in 1997. Regarding HTTP URL concept came in which version, sir? Java 1.1. In 1997, this concept came. Sir, in the 2017 also, we require to use the concept of 1997. How stupid it is? Are you able to understand that? How stupid it is? Okay, observe that. Sir, here 2017 is a now modern things. In the web area, how many developments came? In the web area, how many developments came, sir? Sir, in the servers, how many improvements are there? So, but still, in Java, if you want to communicate with the web server, 1997 HTTP URL connection only you have to use, then automatically, what is the feeling? How pity to the Java programmer? Is it a problem or not? That's why worldwide Java programmers requested OpenJDK, requested Java people, array, that bloody HTTP URL connection is very complex to use. Sorry, don't. Can you please provide some alternative? Okay, like they asked, sir. First time they asked. Sorry, no response. Second time they asked. No response. Because it is that there are several problems are there with this HTTP URL. What problems if you want? It is very difficult to use. It's very difficult to use. Next and after that, sir, per TCP connection, at a time only one request only you are allowed. You can't send multiple requests. Automatically performance is going to be down. Sir, at a time, only one request. At a time, only one request per TCP by IP connection. Per connection, at a time only one request. Next and after that, it provides support only for text, not for binary data. Are you getting it? Provides support only for text, not for binary data. Next and after that, it is always going to work in blocking mode. Are you getting? It's always going to work in blocking mode. Blocking mode means synchronous mode. Synchronous mode means until getting the response, you have to wait. Performance is going to be down. Next, it's very difficult to use. It provides support only for text based. At a time, only one request you are going to send. These many headaches are there with this HTTP URL connection. Because of these headaches, sir, worldwide programming expert, Java expert, they requested JDK, Java people, right? Array, can you please provide new concept, man? Sir, we are very difficult to use this. No response. No response from Java people. They asked one time. Sorry. They asked second time. They asked third time. No, there is no response. Then what the Java programmers did is, array, there is no use of this. Better to go for third-party HTTP clients. Are you getting? Most 90% of Java developers, if you want to send a HTTP request from Java application, compulsory they are going to use Apache HTTP client. Are you getting? Apache HTTP client. Remember this. Sir, this is from the third party, Apache, or otherwise Google HTTP client, the people start using this concept, right? Okay, so at last OpenJDK people or Java people realize that they wake up. Oh, we require to introduce a new concept. Like in Java 9, a new concept came to send a HTTP request very easily. That concept is nothing but one HTTP2 client. Remember this one, sir? Earlier, how we send the request? HTTP URL connection. Sir, it is difficult to use. At a time, only one request. It is only text based. It is supports only blocking mode. Only synchronous request only you can send. Asynchronous is nothing but only synchronous request. Asynchronous request you can't send. Okay, these problems are there. But in Java 9, HTTP2 client came. The biggest advantage of HTTP2 client is, sir, it is very easy to use. Next, sir, at a time multiple requests you are going to send. HTTP2 client is supports both the text based and binary. Next and after that, HTTP2 client can work in blocking mode, non-blocking mode. If you send a request, you are not required to wait until getting the response. Asynchronous communication also supported by HTTP2 client. Clear for all of it, right? HTTP2 client can support, okay, HTTP1 protocol, HTTP2 protocol, no problem at all. Is it clear for all of it? Sir, very simple, sir. Aware what is the HTTP client? From Java application, if you want to send a request to the web server, then some software is required, which is nothing but HTTP client. Earlier we are using HTTP URL connection, but Java 9 version onward, a beautiful concept came. That concept is nothing but HTTP2 client. Sir, now once a HTTP2 client came, we are not required to come in. We are not required to use any third party HTTP client because it is very easy than these things also. That's why HTTP2 client is the longest waiting concept, most excited concept in Java 9. Remember this one, sir. Sir, once this concept came, most of the worldwide programs felt very happy because long waiting ends with this concept. Clear for all of you, right? Sir, what is HTTP client? What is the problems with old one? New one, what advantages are there? Overview. Minimum 2 to 3 hours I will explain. I will execute 4 to 5 program. How you can send HTTP request in the synchronous mode, asynchronous mode. All those things I will discuss. Don't worry, right? Okay, that's all. Sir, up to this, we covered about JShell, next JPMS, JLink, and HTTP2 client. But now, the next new feature, what I want to explain, sir, process API updates. So, do you know, from Java application, I want to communicate with the operating system. I want to communicate with the processor. It's very difficult, sir, until Java 8. Remember this one, if you want to communicate with the underlying processor until Java 8, do you know, we require to write big lengthy code, we require to write native code, we require to use third-party libraries. That's why, sir, Java is not a mission-friendly language. Java, communication with the memory level, communication with the platform level, processor level is not that much easy in Java, right? Because it's the platform-independent language, right? Look at this. That's why mission-level communication, processor-level communication, if you want to do from Java application, it is a very, very difficult, right? Remember this, sir. Until 1.8 version, it's very difficult. But from Java 9 version onwards, because of this process API update, there are several new things came in the process API, right? Like process handle, next a process handle.info, next several methods added to the process class, next a process builder class, like sir, API got enhanced like anything. Because of that, communication with the underlying processor is a very, very easy, sir. Sir, what is the current running process? JVM itself, if I'm running JVM, if I'm executing Java program, JVM is going to run. JVM itself is one process, right? Okay, like sir, how to get a process ID of the current running process? I want to create my own process from the Java program. I want to destroy already existing process, or I want to list out complete information of your process. What is the owner, by using which command this process got started, which is the parent processes, child processes, like complete information you can able to get very easily with this process API updates, right? Sir, one important word I have to discuss about, I have to tell about this process API, right? Sir, out of all these 12 features, whatever there in the Java 9, all these 12 features, whatever listed, sir, open JDK people told, sir, the big rocking concept, number one rank concept in Java 9 is a JPMS concept, like. But after releasing this movie, according to worldwide programming experts, the number one rank goes to this process API updates only. Remember this one, sir? Sir, the most successful hit concept in Java 9 is process API updates. Okay, most of the worldwide programming experts, Java expert, life got simplified because of this concept, right? Okay, sir, very simple. Just I will show small example, sir. Sir, I'm executing my program. My program executed by JVM. JVM is one process. For that, some ID must be there, which is nothing but process ID. Sir, I want to print current running JVM process ID. Hey, processor, what is the process ID of my JVM? Can you please provide? Can you please provide? Like, if you want this one in Java 8, 1 kilometer lines of the code we have to write. Native libraries we require to use. Third-party jar files we require to use. But from Java 9 version onward, how many lines of Java code? We are not required to use third-party jar file. We are not required to use any native libraries. Just we required only one line Java code. Happily, it is going to provide what is current JVM Java instance, sir, process ID. What the codes are? Very simple. Have a look once. What I am taking? System.out.println. Okay, because I want to print, right? Sir, observe. Process. Can you please spell out? Process handle. This is the interface came in Java 9, sir. Sir, what is this one? Process handle. At the part of java.lang package only. That's why no import is required. Process handle dot current. Oi, what is the current running process? Process handle dot current running process dot PID. Observe that. What is the process ID of current running process? Like if you want, how many lines of the code is required? One line is enough. One line. But in Java 8, sir, 1 kilometer lines of the code we require to write. Third party jar files we require to use and so on. It's a very difficult, right? I hope everyone can able to understand, right? Sir, how to print current running JVM process ID? Sir, like just only one line is enough. Sir, theoretically you are telling, can you please execute? Can you please show? You people may ask. Have a look once, sir. Observe that. Already I typed this code. Sir, just divided into two lines. Don't worry about that. Same. Sir, long PID process ID is always what type? Long. Process handle dot current dot PID. System dot out dot println. Current JVM process ID is PID. Next, after printing this one, sir, I want to make this process running. That's why, sir, I used thread.sleep. Because if my program is going to be completed, that process will be terminated. Then I can't show, is it really the same process ID or not? Okay? Have a look once, right? Sir, let me run this program, Java C. Okay? Test.java. Yes, compiles fine. Next, let me run this code. Observe that. Sir, what is the current process ID? Can you please spell out? What is the current process ID, sir? 1668. Sir, is it really the JVM process ID or not? Sir, I am using Windows machine. In the Windows machine, how to see the current running processes, right? Alt Control Delete. Are you getting? Alt Control Delete. Start task manager. In the task manager, applications are there. Processes are there, like I hope you people may see, sir. Sir, applications, processes, services, performance, like this we have. Sir, in the second tab, processes. Are you getting that? Processes. Sir, now have you observed what is the process ID? 1668. Are you seeing 1668 here, sir? Can you please cross check? What is this one? Java.exe. What is the process ID, sir? 1668. I hope everyone can able to understand, right? 1668 by default will be there. Sir, this is the process ID. Make sure you people should aware, sir. Are you getting right? So, from Java 9 version onwards, okay, communicating with the processor, sir, mission level communication is very, very easy. That concept came because of what? Process API updates, right? Now, from Java 9 version onward, Java is not only programmer friendly, it is the processor friendly language also, because Java application can communicate directly with the processor. Process API updated like that. The number one feature in Java 9 is nothing but process API updates. Clear for all of you, right? Sir, up to this we covered about JShell. Next and after that JPMS, JLink, process API updates, HTTP to client, basic idea, right? Sir, now language level changes, small changes are there. Let me talk about those changes, right? Sir, first next one, private methods inside interfaces. Are you getting that? What is that? Private methods inside interfaces, right? Sir, until 1.7 version, are you getting? Until 1.7 version, inside interface. Are you getting? I have one interface there, sir. Inside interface, we can take only public and abstract methods. Are you getting right? We can take only public and abstract methods. So do you know, every method present inside, okay, interface is always public and abstract, whether we are declaring or not. But this rule is applicable until 1.7 version only. Remember that every method by default always abstract, whether we are declaring or not. That's why interface is also considered as 100% pure abstract class. But this rule is applicable until 1.7 version. Next, every variable present inside interface is always public static and final. Okay, public static and final variables, right? So until 1.7 version inside interface, sir, which things we can take public and abstract methods and public static final variables, right? But from 1.8 version onwards, in the 1.8 version, sir, this is up to 1.7, but in the 1.8 version we can take default methods also. Are you getting right? We can take one default methods also. In addition to default method, static methods also we can take, sir. Default method and static methods we can take. This facility came in the 1.8 version, right? Sir, in the 1.9 version, private methods also you can take, sir, in 1.9 version, right? Sir, interface functionality extending from version to version. Sir, until 1.7 version, every method is always public and abstract. But in the 1.8 version, default methods we can take, static methods we can take. But from 1.9 version, private methods we can take. Just I will explain in 1 minute very briefly the important words. Observe that. Sir, what is the purpose of default method? What is the need of default method? Sir, I am not going to explain with an example. In our regular classes, I will spend 3 to 4 hours time to talk about this concept. Just aware, right? Sir, without affecting implementation classes, we can extend the functionality of an interface by adding new method. Sir, I can add a new method to the interface without affecting implementation classes. That is the main objective of default methods, right? Remember this one. What is the purpose of default method, right? Sir, without affecting implementation classes, we can add a new method to the interface. That facility came in the 1.8 version with the default methods concept. Remember that, sir. Sir, suppose I have one interface is there, sir. Assume that one interface is there. Matter of few minutes, it's overview only. I'm not going to talk in detail. Remember, sir, I have already M1 method is there, M2 method is there, sir. Assume. Sir, how many implementation classes are possible? There may be a chance of multiple implementation classes, right? Assume that class test1 implements interrupt. Class test1 implements interrupt, right? Now compulsory this person will provide implementation for M1, M2 mandatory. Whenever we are implementing an interface, compulsory we have to provide implementation for each and every abstract method. Rules are by mistake if you didn't provide, compiler will give left and right. Make sure, sir. Similarly, sir, like there are 1000 classes are there. How many classes are there, sir? 1000. Class test 1000 implements interrupt. Class test 1000 implements interrupt. M1, M2 like this, right? Now my question is, sir, how many interfaces are there? Only one. How many methods are available? Only 2 methods. How many implementation classes are there? 1000 classes. Test 1, test 2, test 3, test 1000, right? Okay. This is the scenario. Now tomorrow, I decided that I want to add a new method to this. Observe that by mistake, if I am adding this method, sir, I am adding one abstract method, compiler will give left and right, because what is the reason for that is, if I add M3, that M3 test 1 should implement, test 2 should implement, test 1000 also should implement. Is it a problem or not? That's why, sir, without affecting implementation classes, how I can add a new method to the interface? If I add abstract method, then all these implementation classes will be affected. That's why, sir, to overcome this problem, default methods came in the 1.8 version, right? Sir, how to declare default method? Observe that a bit very carefully, sir. How we can declare default method, right? Very simple. Default void M3. Are you getting right? Sir, this default method having implementation, it is not abstract. Because of this, sir, these implementation classes are not required to provide implementation for this M3. So, even though you added default method, No problem at all, sir. There is no effect on these implementation classes. Implementation class not required to implement. If it is required, happily it can use. If it is not satisfied, it can override. Next and after that, do you know, sir, this is so how you can add new method to the interface without affecting implementation classes. That thing is possible because of what? Default method. Right? Just overview only, sir. I'm covering 3 hours concept in 3 minutes. Remember that. Okay, like this. So what is the need of default method, sir? Without affecting implementation classes. Okay, if I want to add the new method to the interface, how it is possible? Because of default methods is possible. Okay, in our regular session I will explain with executable program and so on. Don't worry, right? Then immediately ask us, sir, in 1.9 version, private methods concept came. What is the use of private method? Simple, sir. Remember only one point. Code reusability. Are you getting what is that private method, sir? Code reusability. For that purpose, private method concept came. What is the meaning of that, sir? In a 1 minute, I will explain. Have a look once, sir. Suppose in my interface, there are multiple default methods are there, sir. Assume that, sir, this is default void m1 method is there. Okay, sir, default void m2 method is there, sir. Default void m2 method is there, dot several. Sir, if this default method having some common code, what I will take? That code I will take inside private method, private void m3. In that I can take common code. Are you getting that? I can take common code. Are you getting common code? I will take. Sir, now this m3 happily you can call wherever that common code is required. Everyone can aware, sir? If multiple default methods having some common code, what I will take is that common code I will separate into a private method, so that, sir, wherever that common code is required in that interface, happily you can take, sir. Then immediately I ask, why this one is the private? Because of this refactoring, because of this rearrangement, my implementation class should not be affected. Are you getting? This one is not visible to the implementation class. Implementation class can able to access only m1 and m2, but not this private method. That's why without affecting implementation class, how we can get the code reusability? That thing is possible because of this private method, right? Are you getting? In Java 1.9 version, private method concept is a beautiful concept, sir. Inside interface, the main purpose of private method inside interface is only one word you have to aware. What is that word, sir? Code reusability. Are you getting? Without affecting implementation classes. If you want to get code reusability, then we should go for what? Private method. Sir, in our regular session, 3 to 4 hours I will spend so that you will get much clarity. Just aware from 1.9 version onwards, private methods are allowed inside interface. The main purpose is code reusability purpose. Clear, right? Sir, now I will explain the next new feature in Java 9, try with the resources. Just overview only. I'm not going to discuss in detail, remember. Sir, in the try with the resources, do you know, until 1.6 version, if you want to close your resource, whatever resources opened at the part of try block, like database connection, file writer, file reader, network connection, where we require to close, right? Inside finally block. Correct, right? But, sir, to overcome that, automatically the resources should be closed. For that purpose, try with the resources came. Remember that in which version try with the resources came, sir? In 1.7 version, try with the resources came. Sir, what is the syntax, right? Try R1, R2, something like this. Are you getting? These are the resources, maybe database connection or maybe network connection or maybe file writer, file reader, any resource. So the biggest advantage is these resources will be closed automatically once the control reaches end of try block. Finally block is not required. We are not required to close explicitly. Automatically the complexity of programming by default got reduced. Finally block we are not required to write. Readability also by default will be improved. This concept is in 1.7 version. But in the 1.9, there is a small enhancement came. What is that enhancement is? Observe that carefully, sir. Sir, I'm taking connection, or otherwise just observe file writer fw is equal to new file writer of abc.txt. I want to write data to abc.txt. Similarly, file reader fr is equal to new file reader of input.txt. Sir, I open two resources. I mean file writer and a file reader, right? Sir, if I'm taking like this, try fw fr, like this. If I can take like this until 1.8 version, compiler will give left and right. Remember this one, sir. So because the reason is, whatever resources you want to use, the part of try, sir, compulsory we have to create within the try block, or compulsory we have to use some new reference variable, until 1.8 version. What is the solution for this? You can't write like this. What is the solution? Is solution 1. Remember, sir, try create these resources here only. Try file writer fw is equal to new file writer of abc.txt semicolon file reader fr is equal to new file reader of input.txt, like. So it is very clear, sir. This is one solution. Most of the times we are following this one only. All resources, whatever you are declaring, the part of try block, you should create inside a try block only, like this, right? Sir, first I created, and then I want to use, I want to use already created resources. That thing is not possible in the 1.7 version. I mean, or in the 1.8 version, sir. So, sir, from 1.9 version onwards, no problem at all. 1.9 version onward, no problem at all. Happily, we are allowed to declare like this, right? Clear for all period? Sir, very simple. The resources, whatever, sir, we created already, we are not allowed to use inside a try block until 1.8 version. But from 1.9 version onwards, happily we are allowed to use, no problem at all. Sir, in the 1.8, what we have to do? You should create here only. That is one solution. If you want second solution is also there, sir, in 1.8 version. What is that? Yes, try this resource already created or not? Yes, you should not use this reference variable. Compulsory we have to create a new reference variable. File writer fw1 is equal to fw next, sir, file reader fr1 is equal to fr, like this. Sir, most of the people don't know about this approach. Don't worry about that. Until 1.8 version, sir, whatever resources you want to use as a part of try block, those resources should be, sir, part of try block, or we should use new reference variables like this. The reference variable, resource reference variables should be local to try block only. This is the rule until 1.8 version. But in the 1.9, no such type of restriction. Happily you can take like this. Happily you can take like this. Sir, even these resources created outside, the same reference variables we are allowed to use. But this facility came in which version, sir? 1.9 version. Remember that. Sir, our complexity is going to be down. Readability by default is going to be improved because of this type of flexibilities, right? Clear, right? Just an overview with the examples, with program. Almost 2 to 3 hours we will discuss in our regular sessions. Don't worry, sir. Sir, now, the part of Java 9 overview. Now the next part what I have to discuss, factory methods to create unmodifiable collections. Are you getting right? Sir, until 1.8 version, how to create unmodifiable collection, unmodifiable list object, set object and map objects, how you can able to create. Just let me provide overview. Here I am taking, sir, list of string. I am taking list of string L is equal to new array list of string. Are you getting? New array list of string. I create one list object, right? Sir, and then L dot add of A, L dot add of B, L dot add of C, like. Sir, how many objects I added for this array list, right? Three objects, right? Now I want to make this list as unmodifiable, immutable. That's about my programming requirement, right? Sir, it's a very common to use immutable object to improve performance. Next and after that, to improve performance, especially for memory utilization purpose, immutable objects is very common in our programming, sir. How to create immutable object for this requirement, right? Sir, very, very simple terminology. What I will take here is list of string L2 is equal to, list of string L2 is equal to, sir, collections dot, have you remembered, right? Collections dot unmodifiable. Can you please tell? Unmodifiable list. Collections dot unmodifiable list of L. You have to pass. If you pass normal array list object, now you will get equivalent unmodifiable list object. Sir, that's all. Sir, how to create unmodifiable or immutable collection objects? Until 1.8 version, we require to write this code, right? Sir, first we have to create list of string, and then we are adding the elements, and then we are getting unmodifiable collection. Can you please tell how many lines of the code I am taking? 1, 3, 1 is nothing but how many lines, right? 5 lines I am using. But in the 1.9 version, how many lines of the code is required, sir? Only 1 line. Are you getting? In the 1.9, how many lines of the code is required? Only 1 line. Several factory methods came in the 1.9 version to create unmodifiable collection objects, right? Sir, what is the equivalent code in Java 9? Remember this one? I am ready to write. Very simple. List of string L is equal to, list of string L is equal to, sir, here list of string L is equal to, just we require to take list dot of. What is the method, sir? Can you spell out? Of. Factory methods are list dot of. What is our first element? A, B, and then C. That's all. Are you getting? So here, how many lines we used? 5 lines of the code can be replaced with only 1 line. Are you getting? Several factory methods came to create unmodifiable, immutable collection object. Sir, if you want set dot off. If you want map dot off, or map dot off entries. Are you getting? Like some factory methods came to create unmodifiable collection objects very easily. Now the length of the code is going to be reduced or not? That facility came in which version, sir? 1.9 version. Factory methods to create one unmodifiable collections. Clear for all of you, right? That's. Sir, another new feature which came in Java 9. Stream API enhancements, right? Sir, in the Java 8, a beautiful concept came, streams concept. I hope you people may aware. Stream. Can you tell what is the purpose of stream which came in the 1.8 version? Anyone? Can you please tell what is the purpose of streams concept which came in the 1.8 version? Very simple, sir. Now collection is there. Some collection is there, sir. In Java, what is the meaning of collection? Collection is nothing but what? A group of objects. A group of objects. These are a group of objects as a single entity itself is considered as collection. I want to process these objects from the collection. If you want to process objects from the collection, there is a new concept that came in the 1.8 version. That concept is stream concept, right? Are you getting? Sir, very, very important concept. In 1.8 version, stream concept came. What is the purpose of stream? Okay, make sure, sir, the main objective of collection to hold objects as a single entity. What is the purpose of stream? To process these objects from the collection. Sir, we should go for what? Stream concept, right? Sir, if you want to process elements from the collection, objects from the collection, then we should go for what? Stream concept. Sir, how to create stream? What is the filter method, map method, flat map method, like we covered already in the 1.8 version, right? But in the 1.9 version, some more extra methods are added for this stream so that stream API will become powerful, okay, more flexible to use, right? Sir, what extra methods came in 1.9 version? Remember, the first method is take while. What is the first method, sir? Take while, okay? Second method is drop while. Are you getting? Drop while, take while, drop while. These two are default methods. These two are default methods in stream API. Remember this one, sir? These two methods are default methods inside stream interface, right? Similarly, there are two more static methods also introduced, sir. Beautiful. Do you know what is the static method? Is stream dot iterate. Stream dot iterate. Iterate, 2 argument iterate method is there. 3 argument iterate method is there. 2 argument iterate method came in the 1.8 version only. 3 argument iterate method with the conditional check also possible in the 1.9 version. Sir, a new version of iterate method came in the 1.9 version with the 3 arguments, right? Okay. Is it a static method or not? Yes, because by using stream name I am calling. Next, sir, do you know? Sir, for most of the people, null checking, null, I want to check whether the object is null or not. If I'm not going to check, maybe a chance of null pointer exceptions, right? So to avoid or to prevent a null pointer exception, to prevent a null checks explicitly, there is one beautiful method concept, beautiful method came in the 1.9, stream dot off nullable. Are you getting that? What is this one, sir? Stream dot off nullable. This is the method came, which is the static method. In the 1.9 version, these are the 4 things added to stream API, right? Sir, what is the first one? Take while, drop while. Next, what are these are the 2 default methods present inside stream interface. And what about these 2 methods? Iterate method, off nullable. These methods are static methods. What is the functionality? With the programs, I will explain in our regular session. Just aware, sir. In the stream, what methods came? 4 methods, sir. Take while, drop while. Iterate, off nullable. That's all these things you should aware. Sir, do you know the next operator what I have to discuss? The next one is diamond operator enhancement in the 1.9 version. Sir, first, do you know generics concept came in which version, sir? 1.5 version. Sir, suppose I am taking array list of string L is equal to new array list of string. Remember this one, sir? Array list of string L is equal to new array list of string. Sir, this one is generics concept, generic version of array list. This array list can hold only string objects only. Sir, by mistake, if you are trying to add any other compatible error, we are going to get. So, the advantage of generics is to provide type safety and to resolve typecasting problems. Maybe in our generics concept at our childhood we discussed already, right? Sir, this concept came in which version? 1.5 version only. Okay, remember. Now, sir, in the 1.7 version, a small enhancement came. That thing is diamond operator, right? Sir, now, what is this one? String. String itself is nothing but what is that? Type parameter, right? Type parameter string. Sir, do you know, in the 1.7 version onwards, from 1.7 version onward, in the constructor call, we are not required to specify type parameter. Okay? If I remove type parameter, how it looks like? Array list of string L is equal to new array list. I want to remove this type parameter. Then, sir, like this. Are you getting? This operator is also known as diamond operator. this diamond operator came in which version, sir? 1.7 version. We are not required to repeat type parameter again. We can remove that based on the context. Compiler can able to guess the type automatically. This thing is nothing but diamond operator possibility, right? Are you getting? So the biggest advantage of diamond operator is, sir, the code will become concise, readability by default will be improved. We are not required to specify the type parameter once again. Just remove the type parameter. Here you can specify based on this, compiler can guess automatically the type, which is also known as type inference. Okay, anyway, in detail I will discuss, don't worry, sir. This is a diamond operator. Sir, don't feel diamond operator came in the 1.9 version. It came already in which version, sir? 1.7 version only. Remember that it's already came in which version? 1.7 version only. Okay, like, sir, now the diamond operator, whatever introduced in 1.7, is applicable only for normal classes. Is applicable only for what? Normal classes. It's a array list normal class, not applicable for anonymous inner classes. Remember this one, sir? Not applicable for anonymous inner classes. From 1.9 version, happily we can apply for anonymous inner classes also. That is the extension, right? Sir, what is anonymous inner class? What is the advantage of using diamond operator with anonymous inner class? All those things I will discuss in detail. Don't worry, sir. Just aware conclusion. Sir, diamond operator from 1.9 version onward, we can use for anonymous inner classes also. Have a look once, sir. Here I am taking array list of string L is equal to new array list curly brace open and close like this. Sir, do you know I am creating child class for array list, anonymous inner class, right? The people who don't know about inner classes, just go through my YouTube video, anonymous inner classes. Sir, here I am creating child class for array list. Sir, for that child class I am creating an object. Sir, observe, it is not array list object, it is anonymous inner class object. For anonymous inner classes also you can use diamond operator, right? Remember this. So, but this facility came in which version onwards? 1.9 only. But before, until 1.8 version, sorry, you can't apply like this. If you compile this code in the 1.9, it is the valid. But in the 1.8 version, compile time error by default you are going to get. Everyone can able to understand, right? Sir, what enhancement came related to diamond operator in 1.9 version? Sir, diamond operator which came in the 1.7 version is applicable for normal classes, but not for anonymous classes. But from 1.9 version onwards, we can apply for anonymous inner classes also. Remember that. But how to use with example, we will discuss in detail soon. Clear, right? Sir, now I will explain at the part of the Java 9 overview. Next new feature, safe vararg annotation enhancements. Remember that. Sir, don't feel this annotation came in the 1.9 version. No. This annotation came in the 1.7 version only. Remember that it's available, it's defined in 1.7. But in the 1.9 version, small enhancement is there. Sir, before talking about enhancement, first you should aware what is the purpose of safe varargs annotation, right? Sir, do you know, in the 1.5, we have vararg methods concept came. Sir, you can call this method by passing any number of int values. Such type of concept is nothing but one vararg, variable number of argument method, right? If I use vararg for generics, with generics, sir, there may be a chance of heap pollution problem. Remember that. Can you spell out what is the problem? What is the problem? Heap pollution problem. So don't worry, with example I will discuss soon. Okay, heap pollution problem, there may be a chance. That's why whenever we are writing this code, immediately compiler is telling, hey Durga, there may be a chance of heap pollution problem. So take a bit care, like warnings it is going to rise, warnings it is going to generate, sir. Are you getting? Suppose I have full guarantee, full confirmation, the code never going to raise heap pollution problem. I have full confidence. I have to convey to the compiler saying, hey compiler, my code never going to cause heap pollution problem. I know. Don't generate warnings. Suppress those warnings. If you want suppress those warnings, then we can go for what? Safe varargs annotation. Regarding if you want to suppress warnings, then I have to go for safe varargs annotation. Very simple, sir. If we use a generics with a vararg, then there may be a chance of heap pollution problem. So whenever we are using generics with vararg, immediately compiler is going to raise warnings. Hey Durga, maybe a chance of heap pollution problem. Please take care. Like it's going to tell. Sir, now if you feel that your code never going to cause heap pollution problem, then you can convey to the compiler, hey compiler, don't generate any warning. Don't generate any warning. Like you can suppress those warnings by using safe vararg annotation. Clear for all of it? What is the purpose of that? A simple example, layman example, let me take that. Suppose assume that you have to travel by bike almost around 10 kilometers, 20 kilometers you have to travel. Then you take the bike and then came out. Whenever you are ready to start your bike, immediately your father, mother, your wife and kids came, take care, like meaningful, because you require to travel 20 kilometers or 30 kilometers. Take a bit care, like father is going to tell, mother is going to tell, wife is going to tell, kids are going to tell. Anyway, no problem, I am going to take care, like just I can convey, I will go. Because whenever we are riding bike, there may be a chance of accident, there may be a chance of problems. So that's why everyone is going to tell, take care, like meaningful, sir. Sir, one day I took the bike. Sir, I'm just taking the bike out for cleaning purpose. Whenever I touched the bike, automatically father, mother, wife and kids are coming, take care. I'm not traveling, man. I'm not traveling. Just I have to clean my bike. I touched the bike. Whenever I touched the bike, automatically all the people take care. Like, are you able to understand, right? I'm sure I'm not going to travel. There is no chance of accident. There is no possibility of accident. If there is no possibility of accident, if you have the guarantee, why you have to legend take care, like, are you able to understand? Hey compiler, in my code, never going to cause heap pollution problem. Don't generate any warnings. I'm irritated with your warnings. Don't generate any warnings. If you want to suppress, then happily we can go forward. Safe varargs annotation. Clear for all of it, right? What is the need? But this concept came in which version? 1.7 only. I will explain in the 1.9 what thing came. That part I will go for first. Understand, sir. Have a look once this code. Legend this one. Have a look once. Sir, I have list of string L1, L2, like this. Sir, this is just I have two array list object or two list objects, right? Sir, now this is M1 of list string, M1 of list of string. Have you observed? Vararg method with generics. Right? Sir, within this method, for each list, can you please print that? I'm not performing any reassignment. If I'm not performing any assignment or reassignment, no chance of heap pollution problem, right? Sir, in our regular class, I will discuss what is the meaning of heap pollution. Just here we are reading, that's all. No question of any heap pollution problem. Now, let me compile this code. If I'm trying to compile, have a look once, sir. What the compiler is going to do is, observe that immediately compiler is going to tell, sir, warnings. Regarding, sir, test.java uses unchecked or unsafe operation. Recompile with -xlint unchecked like this for details. Okay, let me recompile with -xlink java c -xlink :unchecked followed by test.java. Have you observed, right? Immediately it's going to rise clear warnings also. Sir, unchecked generic array creation. Possible, what is this one, sir? Can you please read? Possible heap pollution from parameterized vararg. Regarding possible heap pollution is there, sir. Sir, I know there is no of pollution. Whenever we are using generics with vararg, immediately compiler is going to rise automatically, right? Sir, now I had to convey, hey, bloody compiler, don't generate warnings. I'm irritated with your warnings. Suppress. At the rate, save varargs. Again, what is the annotation I used, right? Save varargs annotation. Now observe that. Yes, I'm trying to compile. The compiler is the silent. If the compiler raises any warning, I will give left and right. Observe that. No warnings at all. Is it clear for all of you, right? Sir, if you run, happily the code is going to run because there is a guarantee no heap pollution, right? Sir, happily A, B, C, D by default is the output we are going to get. Sir, that's all. Now, you got basic idea. What is safe vararg annotation? To suppress compiler warnings, yet whenever we are using generics with vararg method. But until 1.7 version, 1.7 it came. Until 1.8 version, safe vararg annotation we can use for static methods. We can use for final methods, and we can use for constructors. Are you getting? Until 1.8 version, we can use for static methods, we can use for final methods, and we can use for constructors up to that. But from 1.9 version onward, we can use a safe vararg annotation for private methods also. Are you getting right? For private methods also, happily we can use safe vararg annotation. Clear for all of you, right? Sir, how to use? How you can use? What is the meaning of heap pollution? All those things with the example I will discuss. Until 1.8 version, safe vararg annotation applicable only for static method, final method, constructor. But in the 1.9 version, this annotation happily we can use for private methods also. Clear, right? Sir, now the next update in Java 9 is information about G1GC. Are you getting that? What is the topic name? Can I spell out? G1GC. Sir, G means garbage. 1 means first. Garbage collector. G1GC is nothing but garbage first, garbage collector. Okay. Sir, what is the information about this one? Do you know? We have multiple garbage collectors are there, sir. Regarding, we have several garbage collectors are there. First one is serial garbage collector. Regarding, what is that, sir? Can I spell out? Serial garbage collector. Next, second one, parallel garbage collector. Parallel garbage collector. Parallel old, parallel new. Two things are there anyway. Parallel garbage collector. Third ones are CMS garbage collector. What is the meaning of CMS? Don't tell content management system. Regarding CMS means concurrent. Okay. Here concurrent mark and sweep. Concurrent mark and sweep. Garbage collector. Next, G1GC like this. Sir, in Java, mainly we have these types of garbage collector. Can I spell out, sir? Serial GC, parallel GC, CMS GC, and G1GC like this, right? Sir, now, do you know serial GC, the oldest? From Java first version onwards it is came, but these things are added in the middle. G1GC added in the 1.6 version. Are you getting that? Don't feel G1GC came in the 1.9 version, 1.6 version only. Do you know these three GCs always going to work based on generations. Generation based garbage collectors, right? First, do you know heap area divided into multiple parts? Sir, at your childhood somewhere you may heard about this one. Sir, old generation. Next and after that, younger generation. Next, Eden space is there. Next and after that, do you know survivor space? survivor space 1, survivor space 2, survivor space 2, like hidden space, survivor space 2, younger generation, old generation, like you people may aware, right? Of course, in our regular session, even you don't know, I will explain, don't worry about that. These three garbage collector will work based on generations. Are you getting that? Based on what? Generations. But G1GC won't work based on generations, right? Remember this one. G1GC, what it's going to do is total heap divided into multiple regions. Total heap will be divided into multiple regions. This first garbage collector always going to choose one region where more number of objects eligible for garbage collection. Where more garbage is there, first it will choose that. It will destroy that. First, where highest number of objects are eligible for GC, choose that region and destroy that. It never going to worry whether the object present inside hidden space, survivor space or survivor space 2 or otherwise old generation. It never going to work. It is always going to work based on regions. Remember that. So performance wise, the best garbage collector is G1GC only. Remember that. Sir, Java came 1995. Are you getting that? Sir, in the 2004, about G1GC one paper was released, sir. Based on that paper, OpenJDK people start implementing G1GC, introduced in the 1.6 version. 1.7, 1.8, they tested properly. 1.9 version onwards. Now whatever we are using 1.9 version onward, G1GC is the default garbage collector, right? Sir, in your system, by default, which garbage collector is running? From 1.9 version onward, G1GC is the default garbage collector. Okay, sir, then immediately ask, sir, if G1GC is the default garbage collector in the 1.9 until 1.8 version, which was the default garbage collector? Sir, parallel GC. Until 1.8 version, parallel GC is the default garbage collector, but from 1.9 version onward, G1GC is the garbage collector because performance wise too good. Number one garbage collector, sir, with respect to the performance is this. Within the lesser time, more number of objects by default will be destroyed. Performance wise too good. That's why G1GC is a best algorithm, best garbage collector. That's why it is the default garbage collector from 1.9 version. Then you may have n number of doubts. Sir, I don't know about hidden space, I don't know about survivor space and so on. No problem, sir. I will explain how the garbage collector internally will work. What is the difference between these garbage collector? Why G1GC the best garbage collector in detail we will discuss. Clear for all of it, right? That's all. These are 12 features whatever we have related to this Java 9. Okay, make sure, sir, almost around 100 videos minimum I will show about these concepts. Be ready to give left and right. Okay, even I prepared material also, almost around 170 plus pages material is there, sir. For there we will discuss, I will share, sir, slowly while the things going on. Okay, that's all, sir. Hi friends, welcome back. Sir, in the last videos, just you people got the basic idea. What are various new features are there in Java 9? Are you getting that? Almost around how many features we are going to discuss, right? Sir, minimum 12 features we are going to discuss. Don't worry about that. Can you spell out all the new features, whatever there? JShell, JPMS, JLink, process API updates. Next and after that, private methods inside interfaces, try with resources. Next, what we call factory methods for creating unmodifiable collections. Like, sir, almost around 12 topics I covered in the last videos, right? Now, the simple topic, easy topic, very important concept, sir, I want to start today, in this video, right? Sir, what is the topic is? Private methods in interfaces. Are you getting what is the topic name, sir? What we are going to discuss? Private methods in interfaces. Okay, sir, in Java 1.9 version, from Java 1.9 version onwards, happily we are allowed to declare private methods inside interface. That facility not there in the old versions, right? If you consider Java 8, you can't declare private method. It is possible only in the 1.9 version. Then immediately you may ask, what is the need of this concept? What advantage we are going to get, sir? Very, very important point, sir. Somewhere in the YouTube video, there are some other person covered this concept. I saw in the comment section. Sir, this is one of the waste feature which is introduced, like I said the comment. If that person, if I can see the person who gave that comment, I will give left and right. Do you know, right? Because the reason is, sir, the open JDK people, experts are working years, now they are introducing these new features. Each and every new feature, compulsory, there is some benefit is there, sir. You should identify, you should get that benefit in our regular coding. Make sure, sir. Sir, anyway, sir, now, what is the need of this concept? First, related to some background story, let me talk so that you people can get much clarity, right? Sir, now my question is, I have one interface is there, sir. I have one interface is there. Sir, now most of the people may heard about this terminology, right? Every method present inside interface is always public and abstract. From our childhood onwards, we are listening this word, right? Sir, every method present inside interface is always public and abstract, whether we are declaring or not. So that's why interface is also considered as 100% pure abstract class. Interface is just a specification, that's all. Specification, that's it. So that's why it never talks about implementation like we covered in the olden days from our childhood onwards. Correct, right? Every method present inside interface is always public and abstract, whether we are declaring or not. Okay, only public and abstract, whether we are declaring or not. Okay, like similarly, every variable present inside interface is always public, static, final. Public, static, final variables, right? So inside interface we can take only public and abstract methods, only public, static, final variables only. But this rule is applicable until 1.7 version. Remember this one, sir. Until 1.7 version, every method present inside interface is always public and abstract, whether we are declaring or not declaring, right? Every variable present inside interface is always public, static, final, whether we are declaring or not. Sir, if I consider some interface interrupt, observe that, sir. Sir, here I am taking void m1. Can you please tell, is it public or not? Yes, because I am declaring this method inside interface. Sir, is it public or not? Every method present inside interface is always public and abstract, whether we are declaring or not. Similarly, every variable, sir, I am taking one variable, sir, int x is equal to 10. Int x is equal to 10. So this variable is always public and static final, public, static, final, whether we are declaring or not. Remember that, sir. But this rule is applicable until 1.7 version only. Remember that, okay? But from 1.8 version onwards, in the 1.8 version onward, sir, default methods also allowed. Are you getting right? Sir, from 1.8 version onward, inside interface, default methods also allowed. Remember this one, sir. Which methods are allowed, sir? Default methods also allowed. Then immediately ask, sir, I don't know about default methods, sir. What is the meaning? What is the purpose and so on? Even you don't know about these concepts, don't worry. First I will discuss these 1.8 version enhancements. After that I will talk about what is the need of private method. If you want to understand private methods, sir, inside interface requirement, first you should aware until 1.8 version enhancements, right? So inside interface, from 1.8 version onwards, default methods are allowed. Next, static methods also allowed. Remember this one. Default methods are allowed, static methods are allowed. This facility came from 1.8 version onwards. Remember this one, sir. From 1.8 version onward, inside interface, default methods are allowed, even static methods also allowed. What is the need, what is the purpose, that part I'm going to take care, sir, don't worry. Next, after that, one more concept, from 1.9 version onward, private methods also allowed. Are you getting? Private methods also allowed, right? From 1.9 version onwards. From 1.9 version onwards. Sir, interface functionality extending from version to version, sir. Remember this one. Interface functionality is extending from version to version. Observe that. So until 1.7 version, every method present inside interface is always public and abstract only. You can't take concrete methods, right? You can't take the method with the implementation. No such type of possibility until 1.7 version. So that's why until 1.7 version, we can use the word interface is by default considered as 100% pure abstract class. But from 1.8 version onwards, happily we can take default method and the static methods inside interface. Next, in the 1.9 version, private methods also allowed. Are you getting outline, right? Sir, how the interface is evaluated from version to version. Clear for all of it, okay? Sir, make sure this is what you people should aware clearly, right? Clear for all of it, okay? That's all. Sir, now, what is the need of this default method? Sir, why this default methods concept came in the 1.8 version? First I will discuss. Once you are getting the clarity, then we can think about what is the private method inside interfaces. That what I will discuss, right? Clear, right? So now I will explain what is the need of default methods in 1.8 version. Sir, in the 1.8 version, default methods are allowed inside interface. Static methods are allowed. Correct, right? Sir, what is the need of default methods inside interface? That part I will discuss, right? Take a bit very special care these few minutes, sir. Very important, sir. Sir, I have one interface is there, sir. Sir, I have one interface there. Assume that, sir. This interface contain, sir, void M1 method is there, void M2 method is there, sir. Are you getting? Can I spell out? Sir, how many interfaces are there? Only one. How many methods are available, sir? Two methods are available. Void M1, void M2. Now I'm taking, sir, class test, implements intra form taking. Class test implements intra form taking, sir. Sir, I'm not providing any implementation. I'm not providing any method implementation, but I used the word implements interf. Can you tell if the code is going to compile or not? Yes, man. You have to respond very clearly. If the code is going to compile or not? Yes. Sir, this interface contain how many method? Two method. Sir, the class test implements interf is it a valid code or not? Yes. If I can ask this question, sir, can you please compile? Compiler will give left and right. Remember this one. What is the reason for that is, whenever we are implementing an interface, for each and every abstract method, compulsory we have to provide implementation. Remember this one, sir. Sir, if you are not providing implementation, then the code is not going to compile. Compile method we are going to get, sir. Whenever we are implementing an interface, for each and every method, every abstract method, compulsory we have to provide implementation, right? Mandatory. By mistake, if you are not providing compile method by default, we are going to get, sir. Make sure I will show so that you people can feel comfortable, right? Have a look once, sir. Here just I'm taking the same interface. Can you spell out, sir, what is our interface name? Can you spell out what is our interface name, sir? Interface, okay? Interface I'm taking, sir. Inside this interface, here I'm taking, sir, void M1, next and after that void M2, like this I'm taking, sir. Void M1, void M2. Next, class test implements I'm taking, sir. Here implements interf, class test implements interf I'm taking, sir. Sir, I don't want to provide implementation for any method. If I'm not taking implementation for any method, can you spell out if the code is going to compile or not? Just have a look once. Durga classes. I want to save this code inside test.java. Let me Open the, sir, command prompt. Let me go to the, sir, I'm taking Java C test.java. Observe the compiler matter, right? Compiler will give left and right. Have you observed, right? Test is not abstract. Test is not abstract and does not override. And does not override abstract method M2 in interrupt. Sir, you didn't provide implementation for M2. Okay, like it's going to tell. Even after providing implementation M2, then it's going to comment about M1. If you want, have a look once, sir. I'm taking public void M2 method. Are getting public void M2 method, right? Now I will ask, sir, I provided already implementation for M2. Now I'm asking, compiler, can you please compile this code? Have you observed, right? Now it is going to talk about test is not abstract and does not override abstract method M1 in interrupt like. Sir, compulsory, I have to provide implementation for M1 also. Public void M1 like this. Now the code happily will compile because I'm providing implementation for both the methods, right? Clear for all of you, right? Okay, that's all. So make sure, very important points are, whenever we are implementing an interface, for each and every abstract method of that interface, compulsory we have to provide implementation. Otherwise, the code is not going to compile. Remember that, sir. You can declare class as abstract, but somewhere in the child class you should provide implementation. That's why whenever we are implementing an interface, for each and every method, compulsory we should provide implementation. Otherwise, the code won't compile. Remember this one, sir. So if you want to compile this code, compulsory we have to provide implementation for both the methods, right? Sir, have you observed? Public void M1. Next and after that I'm taking public void M2, public void M2. Like this I'm taking. Perfectly itself is valid. No problem at all. Everyone can able to understand, right? So from this discussion, from the last 5 minutes discussion, very, very important point you have to inject in your mind. If you implement an interface, for each and every abstract method of that interface, compulsory we should provide implementation. Otherwise, the code won't compile. Up to this is the clear, right? If you feel comfortable, now the next point is going to come, sir, very important, which is going to raise the need of default methods requirement, right? Sir, now in this example, sir, the point is very clear. I should provide implementation, otherwise the code won't compile. Already I provided implementation, right? Now the point is, sir, in this, how many interfaces are there? Can you spell out? Here, how many interfaces I took in this example? Only one. How many classes are there? How many implementation classes are there? Only one class. Are you getting? Only one interface, only one class is available, right? So now my requirement is, I want to take, is it possible to have multiple implementation classes or not? Yes, man. Don't feel, sir, for every interface only one implementation class. There may be a chance of lakhs of implementation classes are available for the interface. Interface is one specification. That specification can be implemented by multiple people in their own style. Are you getting right? Best example for you, I have collection interface is there, sir. Are you getting? I have collection interface is there. For the collection interface, what are various implementation classes, right? Array list is one class, linked list is in one class, vector is one class, stack is one class. Are you getting? Stack is one class. Next and after the tree set is one class, hash set is one class, ... Everyone can aware, either directly or indirectly, all these are implementation classes of collection interface. Sir, in this, how many interfaces are available? Only one. Only one. How many implementation classes are there? Maybe a chance of thousands of implementation classes are available, sir. Next, I want to develop a servlet. Remember this one. I want to develop one servlet, right? If you want to develop your servlet class, each and every servlet in Java should implement servlet interface, right? I hope you know, right? Servlet interface, right? Now, for the servlet interface, sir, how many implementation classes are there? Sir, HTTP servlet, generic servlet. Are you getting? HTTP servlet, generic servlet. Next, my own servlet, my own servlets. Like, sir, do you know, every day programmer is going to write lakhs of servlets day to day, right? Then automatically crores of servlet classes implement servlet interface either directly or indirectly. Remember this one. That's why for our interface, how many implementation classes are available, sir? There may be a chance of several implementation classes are available. Don't fail for every interface. Only one implementation class. Clear up to this? So the second point is also clear, sir. For our interface, how many implementation classes are there? There may be a chance of thousands of implementation classes are available. Okay, like sir, now have a look once very carefully, sir. Sir, on the board, how many interfaces I took here? Can you spell out? Only one interface. Can you what is the interface name, sir? Interface interf. Remember, sir, how many methods are available? Two methods, M1 and M2. Now I want to write implementation class. Observe that, sir. Class test1 implements interf. Class test1 implements interf. Now I have to provide implementation for public void M1. I provided implementation for M1 and then I provided implementation for M2. Remember this one. Are you getting? I provided implementation for M2. Similarly, another implementation class, sir, class test2 implements interf. Class test2 implements interf. If it is implementing interf, compulsory we should provide implementation for public void M1 method, public void M1, public void M2 method, right? Clear? Okay? Like, sir, test1 is one implementation class, test2 is another implementation class, like that. Okay? Class test1000 implements interf. Class test1000 implements interf. Sir, how many here compulsory we should provide implementation for M1 method and compulsory we should provide implementation for M2 method, right? That's all. Now take very special care for these few minutes, right? Very important point I'm talking. Sir, if I'm implementing an interface, for each and every method of that interface compulsory we should provide implementation. Point number 1. Second point here is, sir, for our interface there may be a chance of multiple implementation classes are available. Don't feel that only one implementation class. Clear? Sir, in this, how many interfaces are available in our scenario? Hey, please respond. How many implementation classes are available? Only one how many interfaces are available? Only one. How many implementation classes are available, sir? 1000 implementation classes are available. Clear for all of you, right? Only one interface, multiple implementation classes are there. Clear? Every implementation class provided implementation for each and every abstract method of the interface. Clear, right? Now observe that this was happened. This interface I developed 3 years before, and all these 1000 implementation classes are implementation classes, right? Now I thought that I want to add a new method. I want to add a new method to the interface. Are you getting? So tomorrow, if I'm adding a new method, are you getting? So tomorrow I want to add new method to the interface, right? By mistake, if you add the new method to the interface, then compiler will give left and right. Are you getting that? Because the reason is, if I add a new method, what will happen? All the implementation classes will be affected. Oh, you didn't provide implementation M3, I can't compile. You didn't provide implementation M3, I can't compile. You didn't provide implementation M3, I can't. Sir, by adding one abstract method inside interface, all the implementation classes are going to be affected, right? Clear? If 1 crore implementation classes are there, can you please observe how much serious the problem? So until 1.7 version, it is impossible to add new method without affecting implementation classes. Are you getting right? So all these 1000 classes will be affected because of adding this new abstract method inside interface. Clear for all of you, right? It is impossible to add a new method to extend the functionality of an interface without affecting implementation classes until 1.7 version. Now, sir, JDK engineers identified this problem. Array, if I define an interface, the functionality is always final. You are not allowed to add new method. Then, sir, we are not in a position to extend functionality of an interface. For this, some solution must be required. Like JDK engineers identified, JDK engineers introduced default methods concept in 1.8 version. Can you spell out what is the method? Array, which concept? Default methods concept in JDK 1.8 version. Remember that, sir. So we are very nearer what is the purpose of default method, right? Observe that a bit carefully. Sir, what is the problem we are facing? Without affecting implementation classes, we can't add new method to the interface. We can't extend the functionality of an interface. Correct or not? Okay. But make sure, very, very important point, sir. Okay. Sir, for this, to handle this requirement, sir, OpenJDK people introduced default methods concept in 1.8 version. Clear for all of it, right? Okay. Make sure, sir, very, very important conclusion, right? Sir, now my question is, what is the purpose of default method? Very simple. Without affecting implementation classes, happily we are allowed to add new methods to the interface. That facility came because of default method. Sir, how to declare default method? Sir, why implementation classes are not going to be affected? That part I will discuss. Are you getting? Sir, need of default method. Sir, without affecting implementation classes, I want to add the new methods to the interface. That facility came in 1.8 version by using which concepts are default methods concept. Clear, right? Sir, now it is very clear what is the purpose of default method. Now, how to declare default method? Sir, with the default method, what implementation class can do? That part I will discuss, right? Have a look once. Sir, I have one interface is there, interface interf. Assume that interface interf. Now, I have default method is there, sir. Default void m1 system.out.println default method. Is it clear for all of you, right? Sir, I'm just taking one default method. Now, class test, observe carefully, class test implements interf. Sir, with the default method, with this default method, what implementation class can do? Sir, this is the default method, whatever there. Sir, what the implementation class can do? For the implementation class, multiple options are available, sir. Sir, if the implementation class don't want this default method, no problem at all. If you don't want, ignore, don't use. Next, if the implementation class required that, happily you can add, you can use, no problem at all. Suppose I'm taking public static void main method string array args. Sir, test t is equal to new test. Test t is equal to new test t dot m1 like this. Sir, implementation class by default, happily it can use this default method, right? Sir, interface default methods are available for every implementation class. That's why if the implementation class are required, happily it is allowed to use. Next, if the implementation class not satisfied with the default implementation, no problem at all, it is allowed to override. How it is going to override, sir? Public void sir system.out.println sir overriding method. Sir, if the implementation class not satisfied with the default method implementation, then happily it is allowed to override, no problem at all. If you are taking this one, now onwards for the test class only this M1 is available. If you are not taking this one, then this method by default available to the implementation class. So our interface default method by default available to the implementation class or not? Yes. So implementation class, if it is required, it can use. Implementation class not satisfied, it can override. Implementation class don't want, no problem, don't use. All options are by default available to the implementation class, right? Clear for all of it, right? Sir, let me go for a small example. Let me run this code so that you people can feel more comfortable, right? Okay, sir, now observe that here I have interface interrupt. This is the default method. Okay, like this is the implementation class, right? Sir, if the implementation class don't want that default method, no problem, don't use. Happily, do you know the code is going to compile? Yes, the code is going to compile, the code will run, no problem at all, sir. Itself is acceptable, sir. No issue at all. Happily, if you want, you can use. If you don't want, you can leave, sir. Implementation class required, no problem. Tester t is equal to new tester t.m1. Tester t is equal to new tester t.m1. Are you getting right? So here, if by default interface default method by default available to every implementation class, if the implementation class required, happily it can use. Now observe that interface default method is going to come to the implementation class. What is the answer by default we are going to get? Happily interface default method, right? Sir, now if you are not satisfied with this default method implementation, no problem at all. Happily you can override public void m1. Are you getting? Public void m1 system.out.println. Sir, it is my own implementation. Observe that my own implementation, like this I'm taking, sir. My own implementation, like now onwards for the tester class, this M1 method is available but not a default method, right? Observe that instead of interface default method, now what is the output by default you are going to get, sir? This is. I hope everyone can able to understand clearly, right? So what is the purpose of default method?